Can you discuss the effects of everything that's happened in the last week? I mean, you got the three losses, and then Toronto comes back and loses in Vancouver. You got the win by Winnipeg, Montreal getting a loser point, Calgary wins, and now the situation with Sutter taking over in Calgary. That should have everybody's attention, right?
Well, I'm worried about how we played those three games. That's got plenty of attention. So that's what we looked at today, and that's what we talked about today. The only thing we can do is take care of ourselves, and we didn't play well enough in the three games against Toronto. They went on and Vancouver goes and beats them. Those other games, obviously you know what's going on around the league, but unless you take care of your own business, it doesn't matter what's going on in the rest of the league. So that's what our mindset is today.
Can you speak to the Sutter situation? You coached against him a lot. How does that change the dynamics? You still got, I think, 7 games left to play with Calgary, and obviously this one right away.
Well, we don't pre-scout for a coach. We pre-scout for a team. So Daryl's a good coach. He's got a great track record. He's been in Calgary before, knows the situation there, but it doesn't change how we prepare. Or we've got to take care of ourselves. If we start worrying about everybody else around the league, we're not focused enough on ourselves. So that's what we're taking care of today.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
So you always sort of say that you want to look and break down the games, the next day, and I'm sure you've done that with the Leaf games. Can you tell us, without giving up any state secrets, what went wrong? What were you missing, and what are you trying to focus on doing right in this game on Saturday?
Yeah, we got to stay way more connected. We got down in those games, especially the first 2 games. Like work ethic and stuff is you're trying to do things, but we got down early and chasing the games. But it's how we get down early that bothers you a little bit. Like in all 3 games, you look at the first 6 or 8 minutes, we started well in all 3 games, and end up coming out of every first period down. So some of the mental mistakes, some of the there's some structure stuff of just staying connected better that we talked about today. So there's some factors that come into play. There's some areas that we didn't think we performed very well in that we addressed those today, and talked a little bit about Toronto had a better playoff mindset than we did. They did, their discipline, their structure they played was something that they beat us in those departments. So those are areas that we have to improve in if we're going to become a better team.
So how much of this is physical? Go to this spot, check that guy, don't let that opponent do this thing. How much of it is mental?
The game moves too fast. You can't just grab individual things like that and say this is why you won or lost. It's a mindset of how your group play for 60 minutes and recognizing situations as the game goes. And, mistakes that have to come out of your game, turnovers or bad changes that are just mistakes that when you make them and it costs you goals or costs you games, you have to learn from them.
Reed Wilkins, 630 Chad.
Dave, from your experience, can emotions like anger, frustration, and even embarrassment be valuable to a team if they're channeled in the right direction for future games?
Yeah, that's what you're hoping for. If you truly hate to lose, then you get up off the mat and you do something about it.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260. Go ahead, Jason.
Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Hey, Dave, we saw you worked a lot on the neutral zone. Was that the one area you felt like I don't know if the proper support or gap was not lacking or too much individual effort? What was it about your neutral zone play against Toronto that frustrated you?
There's just some structure stuff that we were looking at, and the ability to, on both sides of it, to defend and to get to the offensive zone when you got teams that are stacked up in the neutral zone.
And William Lagesson looks like he's good to go for tomorrow.
Well, I got to talk to the doctors here, but he had to get through a whole practice here that without concerns, and if he does that, there's a good chance he'll play tomorrow.
Ryder Shog, TSN.
Hey, Dave. Noticed in practice that you snapped the guys to attention pretty good. How did you feel about the energy overall today, and what was your kind of messaging in doing that today?
Well, we had to get out and get back to work. We didn't play as well as we wanted for 3 games in a row. We had a day off yesterday. There's some things we addressed in a meeting with some video this morning, and there's some things we wanted to address on the ice. It's all part of getting our team back going the right direction.
And if I can just change directions a little bit here, I just wondering if you would offer a thought on the passing of Walter Gretzky. Lots of talk today about hockey days out there and what that means to the hockey world.
Very, very sad day, because every one of us that has come up playing hockey in Canada, especially, you had a dad that pushed you along there, and just my condolences go out to the Gretzky family, Wayne and Keith, and know them well, and they're it's just a sad day, I'm sure, for them. I had the good fortune to have dinner with Wayne and his dad last year when we were in Toronto, and just you come out of that dinner with Walter, and it's just so positive, so engaging. It was he'll be dearly missed.
Rob Duchkowski, Post Media.
Hi, Dave. You guys have kind of already been the team that you want to be. You had that 11-2 run. You were playing really well. So from that standpoint, is it easier to get back to that after that 3-game lull there, or is there no difference?
I'd like to get above that. That's what we're working for, to get above that. There's stretches in the season you go, and there's times when you feel like you're playing well, maybe you're not winning. There's times when you're winning, and you got to clean some areas up. So our goal is to continue to get better. And wins, you're always feeling good about yourself. You feel like you can go out and beat anybody, but when you lose, and you lose the way we did the last 3, there's lots to clean up. So we want to make sure we're just striving to get better all the time, and that's, a tough week is the same as a good week. We're always trying to look to get, how do we improve?
They say that it's harder to be a good team than it is to be an average team. Is that maybe something that you guys are learning along the way?
I always equate it to the golf scenario. You start golfing, you maybe get to an 18 handicap. It's a lot easier to get to 12 than it is from 12 down to 3. And the 12 to 3 is the handicap that once you get down to a 2 or a 3, you're a good player. And that last bit is a lot harder to get to than get from 12 to 18. And that's where we are. We have to get better as a team, and as you do get better, those steps to get even better than you are become harder and harder, and those are steps that we want to make sure we're engaged in.